The group Americans United for Life has just published a new report, Unsafe: How the Public Health Crisis in America's Abortion Clinics Endangers Women. We're joined by the president of the group, Catherine Glenn Foster. Catherine, pro-choice groups say we got to leave these clinics alone because if they shut down, women might have to get back alley abortions. But what do you say? What does the report say about the safety of these clinics?
Americans United for Life gathered and analyzed government reports from coast to coast, and we found terrible deficiencies. We found that abortion really is the red light district of healthcare. It endangers women. It is not safe.
Now, you found all sorts of problems in the clinics. What are some of the most startling examples to you?
Well, there were a lot of different problems, as you can imagine. Problems with drugs being expired, being mishandled, equipment problems not being maintained, even rusty, problems with records, which can endanger and even kill women when the records aren't properly kept in terms of what drugs have been given, for example. Problems with personnel not being licensed, not being the proper personnel. Some of the most shocking violations, I think, to me, revolved around the sanitary issues. There were problems where there was blood found, where there was one sponge that was being used to clean medical instruments was filled with blood, hadn't been cleaned in a week, just the same sponge over and over. Problems with employee lunches being stored in the same fridge as medications, being stored in the same fridge as baby body parts. Oh, yeah. Just terrible violations.
Yeah. Now, do women actually get hurt, some even killed in these clinics?
Absolutely. We found time and time again this has happened. We detail 11 women who tragically were injured, lost their lives in many of those cases to the abortionist, and it's tragic. Women nationwide, and they had no idea what they were getting into.
Now, the report talks about these circuit rider abortionists. What are they, and why does the prevalence of them put a lie to this idea that abortion should be left to a woman and her doctor?
Right. Well, a lot of doctors don't want to perform abortions, and that's not surprising. So there aren't that many abortion doctors. So they end up traveling around the country like a circuit rider, in some cases traveling around the world. There's one abortion center in Alabama that had a doctor flying in from another continent and would come to Alabama, perform the abortions, wouldn't even spend the night in Alabama, would then go to another state to spend the night. And that's what we see. We see that doctors don't want to perform abortions, don't want to stay there, and then that endangers, can even kill women. There's a woman in my own backyard who had come down, a young woman, diagnosed with a lethal fetal anomaly, did not want an abortion, was so looking forward to having a child, but went through this procedure, this multi-day procedure. Began to have problems with chest pain and breathing. She and her family tried to contact the abortionist, never got through to him, went to the ER, ER couldn't get through to him, and in the end, she died. This young 20-something woman had no idea.
Interesting. Well, there's that and many more instances in this new report, Unsafe: How the Public Health Crisis in America's Abortion Clinics Endangers Women. We've been joined by the AELU president, Catherine Glenn Foster. Thank you so much, Catherine. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.